Imagine trying to read a complex novel, but you are only allowed to focus on one single element at a time. If you analyze the grammatical structure of a sentence, you miss the plot. If you focus on the pronouns, you forget who is speaking. If you search for the emotional tone, the word definitions vanish. This is the exact bottleneck that early artificial intelligence models faced. They had to average all these competing signals into a single, blurry representation. In this video, we will explore the architectural breakthrough that solved this problem: multi-head attention. You will discover why a single attention head is not enough to capture the richness of language, and how parallel attention heads divide and conquer syntax, coreference, and semantics simultaneously. By the end, you will see exactly how modern AI models think in parallel. At the heart of every modern AI model, from ChatGPT to Claude, lies a mechanism called self-attention. It allows the model to look at a word in a sentence and determine which other words are most important for understanding its context. Human language is multi-layered. A single sentence contains grammatical structures, pronoun references, and semantic relationships all at once. Trying to process all of this with just one attention head is like trying to paint a masterpiece with a single, thick brush. In this video, we will break down the math and the intuition behind multi-head attention. We will show you how these parallel heads split the representation space, specialize in different linguistic tasks, and then fuse their insights back together. By the end of this video, you will understand the exact mechanics of this parallel processing system and how it powers state-of-the-art language understanding. Before we can appreciate why we need multiple attention heads, we must look at the severe limitations of using just one. A single attention head works by calculating a set of attention weights. For each word in a sentence, the head assigns a probability distribution over all the other words, representing their relative importance. A word can have multiple relationships at the same time. If a single head tries to focus on both grammatical structure and pronoun resolution, it is forced to compute an average of these two distinct targets. When you average attention weights, you do not get a model that understands both. You get a model that understands neither. The weights blur together, leading to what researchers call attention collapse. The model loses its focus, unable to resolve which connection is truly critical in that specific context. To prevent this, we need a mechanism that can look at the same sequence from multiple viewpoints at the very same time. The core mathematical engine of this calculation is the scaled dot product attention. This formula computes the alignment between queries, keys, and values, scaling the dot product to keep gradients stable. Attention of Q, K, V equals softmax of the quantity Q times K transpose, all divided by the square root of D sub K times V. Q represents the query matrix, K represents the key matrix, V represents the value matrix, and D sub K is the dimensionality of the key vectors. The scaling factor 1 divided by the square root of D sub K is critical because it prevents the dot products from growing excessively large in high dimensions, which would cause the softmax function's gradients to vanish. Let us look at a concrete numerical example. Imagine we have a key dimension where D sub K equals 64. The scaling factor is the square root of D sub K equals the square root of 64 equals 8. If our raw dot product QK transpose equals 32, we scale it by dividing by 8, yielding a value of 4. Without this scaling, the raw value of 32 in the softmax function would push the output probability extremely close to 1. 0 for the largest element, effectively zeroing out the gradients for all other elements during backpropagation. To make the structural differences clear, this comparison contrasts a single attention head with a multi-head configuration across key operational parameters. According to Vaswani and colleagues in 2017, regarding representation space, single-head attention processes the entire input vector dimension in one projection, while multi-head attention splits the vector dimension into H parallel subspaces. In terms of linguistic focus, single-head attention is forced to average syntactic, semantic, and pronoun relationships, whereas multi-head attention allows individual heads to specialize in distinct linguistic features. Concerning the risk of collapse, Single-head attention has a high risk because attention weights easily blur when multiple relationships exist, while multi-head attention has a low risk because parallel channels maintain isolated relationship tracks. As for the computational path, single-head attention uses sequential or single-channel matrix multiplication, whereas multi-head attention is highly parallelizable across multiple projection heads. Think of single-head attention like a single security guard monitoring a bank with 8 different television screens. If the guard tries to watch all 8 screens at once, they will inevitably miss crucial details on each screen. Their attention is divided and blurred. Multi-head attention is like hiring 8 specialized guards, each assigned to watch exactly one screen. One guard watches the entrance, another watches the vault, and a third watches the back door. They work in parallel, and no one has to compromise their focus. Now that we see the limitations of a single observer, let us look at the architecture that allows the transformer to deploy these parallel observers without exploding the computational cost. The magic of multi-head attention is that it does not simply duplicate the attention mechanism. It splits the input space into independent representation channels. Instead of performing a single attention function with high-dimensional queries, keys, and values, the model projects these vectors into lower-dimensional subspaces. For example, if our total representation dimension is 512 and we have 8 heads, we project our inputs into 8 different 64-dimensional spaces. Each head then performs the scaled dot product attention independently in its assigned subspace. This projection is performed using learned linear transformations. Because each head has its own set of projection matrices, they can project the same input tokens into completely different positions in their respective subspaces. This means that 2 words that are close to each other in head 1 subspace might be far apart in head 2 subspace. Once the heads finish their calculations, we concatenate their individual outputs and project the combined vector back to the original 512-dimensional space. Imagine you are analyzing a classic painting. Head 1 might project the image into a color space, focusing entirely on contrast and shading. Head 2 might project the image into a geometry space, focusing on lines and shapes. Head 3 might project it into a historical context space, looking for symbolic references. None of these heads are forced to negotiate with the others during the analysis. They compile their reports separately, and only at the very end do we bind their reports together into a single comprehensive folder. But how do these mathematical subspaces translate into actual language understanding? Let us look at what these individual heads actually see when they read a sentence. When we look inside trained transformer models, we find that the attention heads have self-organized to perform specific, recognizable linguistic tasks. In 2019, researchers at Stanford analyzed the attention patterns of models like BERT. They discovered that the heads do not learn redundant representations. Instead, they specialize. Some heads become syntactic experts, tracking grammatical relationships such as matching verbs to their direct objects or prepositions to their targets. Other heads specialize in coreference resolution. This is the process of linking pronouns like he, she, or it back to the correct nouns they represent in the text. Another group of heads focuses on semantic disambiguation, looking at the surrounding context to determine the exact meaning of ambiguous words. According to Clark and colleagues in 2019, attention heads distribute their duties across 5 categories to decode a sentence. A syntactic head connects verbs to their direct objects, such as linking ate to apple. A coreference head links pronouns to nouns, such as connecting it to dog. A semantic head connects nouns to their modifying adjectives, such as linking climate to global. Additionally, a positional head attends strictly to adjacent tokens, and a delimiter head attends to special structural tokens to manage segment boundaries. Let us trace how a multi-head model processes the sentence. The scientist poured the chemical into the flask because it was highly volatile. Here, the pronoun it is ambiguous. Does it refer to the scientist, the chemical, or the flask? A coreference head will focus on linking it to its antecedent. It looks at the words chemical and flask and pays high attention to chemical because of the semantic modifier volatile. At the same exact time, a syntactic head connects the verb poured to the direct object chemical and the prepositional phrase into the flask. The model resolves both the grammatical structure and the pronoun identity simultaneously in parallel channels. Now that we have seen the linguistic division of labor, let us roll up our sleeves and look at the exact mathematical matrices that make this projection and fusion possible. The entire parallel execution is governed by a set of learned weight projection matrices that transform the input representation into its component subspaces. For each attention head I, we define three projection matrices: W sub I superscript Q for queries, W sub I superscript K for keys, and W sub I superscript V for values. These matrices project our original high-dimensional vectors into the head's lower-dimensional space. If the input vector has a dimension of D sub model equals 512, and we project it to D sub K equals 64, the projection matrix will have dimensions of 512 by 64. Once each head has calculated its attention using these projected matrices, the outputs are concatenated. This concatenated vector has a dimension of h times d sub v, which equals 8 times 64 equals 512. Finally, we multiply this concatenated vector by an output projection matrix W superscript O, which has dimensions of 512 by 512, to fuse the information back together. Mathematically, the projection of each head and the final output aggregation are defined by the following equations. Head sub I equals attention of Q times W sub I superscript Q, K times W sub I superscript K, V times W sub I superscript V. Multi-head of Q, K, V equals the concatenation of head sub 1 through head sub H times W superscript O. W sub I superscript Q is a real matrix of dimensions D submodel by D sub K. W sub I superscript K is a real matrix of dimensions D submodel by D sub K. And W sub I superscript V is a real matrix of dimensions D submodel by D sub V. These are the projection matrices for head I, and W superscript O is a real matrix of dimensions H times D sub V by D submodel, and is the final output projection matrix. Let us walk through a concrete numerical example. Suppose our batch has a sequence length of 10 tokens, and D submodel equals 512. The matrices Q, K, and V all have dimensions of 10 by 512. For head 1, we project these matrices using W sub 1 superscript Q, W sub 1 superscript K, and W sub 1 superscript V, each with dimensions of 512 by 64. This yields projected matrices QW sub 1 superscript Q, KW sub 1 superscript K, and VW sub 1 superscript V with dimensions of 10 by 64. Compute the attention weights using the scaled dot product, resulting in a 10 by 10 attention weight matrix, which we multiply by the 10 by 64 value matrix, producing a 10 by 64 output for head 1. We repeat this for all 8 heads, concatenate the results side by side to get a 10 by 512 matrix, and multiply by the 512 by 512 output projection matrix W superscript O to produce our final 10 by 512 output. The shape transformations can be visualized using the dimensions of the weight matrices. The W sub I superscript Q matrix is a 512 by 64 weight matrix, where each entry W sub row column is a learned parameter that maps the 512-dimensional input to the 64-dimensional query subspace. And the output projection matrix W superscript O is a 512 by 512 matrix, where each entry O sub row column is a learned parameter that fuses the concatenated head outputs back into the original 512-dimensional representation space. Their 2019 paper, Analyzing Multi-Head Self-Attention, Voida and colleagues demonstrated that not all heads are equally important. By applying a pruning technique based on stochastic gates, they showed that 38 out of 48 attention heads in a machine translation model could be removed entirely, leaving only 10 specialized heads. This pruning resulted in a negligible drop of only 0.15 in the blue score, a standard metric for translation quality. This proves that, while the model needs multiple heads to discover different specializations during training, it can often operate with a much leaner set of heads once the specialization paths are established. This mathematical structure completes our journey through the architecture. Let us pull these pieces together to see the big picture of what multi-head attention means for the future of artificial intelligence. Let us summarize what we have covered today. First, a single attention head is forced to average competing relationships, causing attention weights to blur and collapse. Second, multi-head attention projects the input vectors into lower-dimensional subspaces, allowing parallel processing. Third, these heads self-organize to specialize in distinct linguistic features, such as syntax, coreference, and semantics. Fourth, the math of projection ensures that this parallel processing does not increase computational costs, as the dimension of each head is scaled down inversely by the number of heads. The true power of multi-head attention is that it shifts the model's capacity from simple linear memorization to parallel, relational reasoning. By allowing the network to hold multiple perspectives in its mind at once, we enable the complex, contextual understanding that makes modern artificial intelligence feel so human. Next time you prompt an AI model and receive a coherent, grammatically flawless, and contextually rich response, remember that you are not listening to a single voice. You are listening to a chorus of parallel minds, each looking at your words from a different angle and agreeing on the meaning. What other parallel paths of human thought will we teach machines to follow next? If you found this breakdown helpful, please subscribe, leave a comment detailing which head you found most interesting, and share this video with someone curious about how AI actually works. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.